Hello, my bestest buddies. It's WIEBO here, and I'm going to read you a story today. And I thought today I would do Robert Munch. I know you love Robert Munch. I love Robert Munch. So, my favorite story. And today I'm actually going to do a little story called Purple, Green, and Yellow. Okay. So let's get started. Bridget went to her mother and said, "I need some coloring markers. All my friends have coloring markers and they draw wonderful pictures. Mommy, I need some coloring markers." "Oh no," said her mother. "I've heard about those coloring markers. Kids draw on the walls, they draw on the floor, and they draw on themselves. You can't have any coloring markers." "Well," said Bridget, "there are these new coloring markers, and they wash off with just water. I can't get in any trouble with those coloring markers." "Well, all right," said her mother. She went out to go and get Bridget's 500 washable coloring markers. Bridget went up to her room and drew some wonderful pictures. She drew lessons and she drew some lemons that were yellow, and they were yellower than lemons, and roses that were redder than roses, and oranges that were oranger than oranges. Oh my goodness. Her mother was amazed, and she said, "Wow, my kid is an artist." But after a week, Bridget got bored. Here, maybe the light's better over here. There we go. Bridget got bored. She went to her mother and she said, "Mom, did I draw on the wall?" "No," said her mother. "Did I draw on the floor?" "No," said her mother. "Did I draw on myself?" "No," said mother. "Well," said Bridget, "I didn't get into any trouble, and I need some new coloring markers. All my friends have them. Mommy, there are coloring markers that smell. They have ones that smell like roses, ones that smell like lemons and oranges, and even ones that smell like cow plops. Mom, they have coloring markers that smell like anything you want. Mom, I need those coloring markers." Her mother went out and got 500 coloring markers that smelled. Then Bridget went upstairs and she drew her pictures. She drew lemons that smell like lemons, and roses that smell like roses, and oranges that smell like oranges, and cow plops that smelled like cow plops. Ooh. Then her mother said, "My kid is an artist. Wow." But after a week, we know what happened. Bridget got bored. "Mom, did I draw on the floor?" "No." "Did I draw on the walls?" "No." "Did I draw on myself?" "No," her mother said. "Well," said Bridget, "I need some new coloring markers. The best kind. All my friends have them. They're super indelible, never come off till you're dead, and maybe even later coloring markers. Mom, I need them." So her mother went out to the store and she bought 500 super indelible, never come off till you're dead, and even later maybe coloring markers. Bridget took them and drew pictures for 3 weeks. She drew lemons that looked better than lemons, and roses that looked better than roses, and oranges that looked better than oranges, and sunsets that looked better than sunsets. Then she got bored, and she said, I'm tired of drawing on paper, but I'm not going to draw on walls, and I'm not going to draw on the floor. I'm not even going to draw on myself. But everybody knows it's okay to color your fingernail. Even my mother colors her fingernails. So Bridget took a purple, super indelible, never come off till you're dead, and maybe even later coloring marker, and she colored her thumbnail bright purple. And that's so pretty. She colored all her nails purple and black and yellow. And that was so pretty that she even colored her hands yellow and green and red. Uh-oh. And that was so pretty that she colored her face purple and green and blue. And that was so pretty that she colored her belly buttonhole blue. And that was so pretty that she colored herself in all sorts of colors. Almost entirely all over her body. And Bridget looked in the mirror and said, oh, what have I done? My mother's going to kill me. So she ran into the bathroom and she washed her hands for half an hour. Nothing came off. Her hands still looked like a mixed rainbow. She then had a wonderful idea. She reached down into the bottom of the coloring markers and got a special colored marker. It was the same color as she was. She took that marker and colored herself all over until she was a regular color again. In fact, she even looked better than before. Almost too good to be true. She went downstairs and her mother said, why, Bridget, you look really good today. Right? Said Bridget. Then her mother said, it's time to wash your hands for dinner. But Bridget was afraid the special color would not stick to the colors underneath, so she said, I already washed my hands. But her mother smelled her hands. Here, it's on this side here. Her mother smelled her hands and said, no soap. She took Bridget into the bathroom and washed her hands and face. All the special color came off and Bridget looked like all mixed up rainbows. Oh no, said her mother. Bridget, did you color your hands with the coloring markers that wash off? No. Bridget, did you color your hands with the coloring markers that smell? No. Did you use the super indelible never come off till you're dead and maybe even later coloring markers? Yes. Yikes, said her mother. Oh my goodness. She called the doctor and said, help, help, my daughter colored herself with super indelible never come off till you're dead, maybe even later coloring markers. Oh dear, said the doctor. Sometimes they never come off. The doctor came over and gave Bridget a large orange pill. She said, take this pill, wait 5 minutes, then take a bath. So Bridget took the pill, waited 5 minutes, jumped into the bathtub. Her mother stood outside the door and yelled, is it working? Is it working? Yes, said Bridget. Everything is coming off. And Bridget was right. Everything was coming off. When Bridget walked out the bathroom, she was invisible. Oh no, yelled her mother. You can't go to school if you're invisible. You can't go to university if you're invisible. You'll never get a job if you're invisible. Bridget, you have wrecked your life. Don't worry, Bridget said. And she ran into the bathroom and she got the special colored marker and colored herself entirely all over until you couldn't tell the difference. In fact, she looked better than ever. But her mother said, Bridget, you can't go through life like that. You're just a picture. Everyone will know that there's something wrong. No, they won't, said Bridget. Yes, they will, said Mother. No, they won't, said Bridget. I colored Daddy while he was taking a nap, and you haven't noticed anything yet. Good heavens, yelled her mother. And then she ran into the living room and looked at Daddy. He looked better than ever before. Almost too good to be true. Doesn't he look great? Said Bridget. I couldn't even tell the difference, said her mother. Right? Then neither will he. As long as he doesn't get wet. Oh no. And that is the end of the story Purple, Green, and Yellow. I hope you enjoyed that story. We'll read another one next time for you, okay? Thank you and have a great day.